Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members save even more with limited-time doorbuster deals. Save $5 on 24-count Contractor's Choice 42-gallon trash bags, now just $14.78. Plus, get your choice select DeWalt Elite Series saw blades for $9.98. Not a Pro Rewards member? Join for free today at Lowe's. Valid through 9/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowes.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
You're listening to the Computer Repair Academy podcast, a show that's your go-to podcast for easy tech fixes, pro tricks, computer repair tips, and everything you need to keep your computer running smoothly. So if you're ready to upgrade your tech game, then let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Computer Repair Academy podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy, and today we're going to tackle something that happens way more often than people admit: forgotten passwords. Yep, we've all been there. You sit down, type what you think is the right password, and boom, access denied. You try again and again, and suddenly you're locked out of your own account or machine. I once had a client call me in a full-blown panic. They had a huge Zoom meeting starting in 3 minutes, and they couldn't remember their computer login password. Their boss was waiting, the meeting was important, and they were completely stuck on the user login screen. Talk about unneeded stress. So today, we're going to cover why people forget their passwords so often, how to safely reset or recover passwords on Windows OS, suggest a few tools you might find helpful, and most importantly, how to prevent these situations in the future. And hey, if you want to actually see some of the password reset methods in action, don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, Computer Repair Academy. We have a lot of tutorials and walkthroughs that make it super easy to follow along. All right, let's unlock this episode. So why do people forget their passwords in the first place? Number one, too many passwords. We've got logins for email, streaming services, banks, shopping sites, and of course, our computers. It's just too much for the human brain to juggle. Number two, infrequent use. If you only use your computer or certain accounts occasionally, you might set a password and then not touch it for months. By the time you come back, you've totally blanked on what you used. Number three, someone else said it. I've had clients whose kids set a password on their laptop. Initially, don't notate the password or PIN, and then completely forgot what it was. So yeah, password problems happen to everyone. Don't feel bad if it's happened to you. All right, let's break down how to reset or recover your Windows login password. On Windows, you've got a few options. One, perform a Microsoft account recovery. If you log in with a Microsoft account, you can reset your password online. Visit the Microsoft website and start the forgot password process. Microsoft will typically send you a link via email or text to reset your password. Reset this, and you should get back into your PC. Two, perform a local account password reset. If it's a local user account, you can sometimes reset it using security questions you set up when you first created the account. If not, then you can utilize a trusted password reset tool. Two tools I could suggest here would be the easeus Windows Password Unlocker or the Hiren's Boot CD and their Windows Login Unlock tools. I'll link these in the show notes to try out. And three, perform a hidden Windows hack to reset the user password. This one's a little more advanced, but essentially you can boot into a Windows USB drive and use some command line wizardry to perform a user password reset. We did a video on this trick, and I'll link it in the show notes to check out. It's actually not as complicated as it sounds. Here's a quick story that shows why preparation and password management is key. A small business owner came into the shop after they were locked out of their only accounting computer. No one knew the password. It had been set years ago by an employee who no longer worked there. Somehow the Windows OS had allowed it to auto log in with no password up until now. They had no IT documentation, no password management other than sticky notes all over the office. Well, payroll was due, tax season was in full swing, and they couldn't access their software. We were able to reset the password safely, of course, but it was stressful for them and a good learning experience going forward. Had they set up proper admin and standard user accounts on the computer, centrally documented their IT info, or at the least kept their credentials in a password manager, it would have been a non-issue. Okay, now let's talk prevention, because the best way to deal with a forgotten password is to not forget it in the first place. This goes for your computer login password or any of your numerous account logins. Here's some of the best practices to consider when it comes to passwords. Consider using a password manager. Tools like nordpass, roboform, or protonpass securely store your passwords so you don't have to remember them all. They are relatively inexpensive and are very easy to use. Next, always enable two-factor authentication on your accounts. Even if your password is forgotten, you've got a backup way to prove it's you or reset your password. Always look at turning on the security feature for your accounts. Another good practice would be to create a backup admin account on your computers. On both Windows and Mac, you can create a second admin account. If you get locked out of the main one, you've got a safety net. Obviously, document this account info so you have it when needed. Lastly, consider using a passkey, a PIN, or a biometric login. Windows Hello lets you use a PIN or even facial recognition. On Macs, you've got Touch ID on newer models. These make logins faster and easier to remember. Okay, I've got a couple of extra password tips from the repair shop. First, audit your accounts regularly. Log into your accounts, verify the passwords, check the security settings to ensure your mobile number is correct. Check for two-factor authentication, and then update this info as needed. Also, be sure to add this info to your password manager software or document it properly. Next, use very strong passwords. A mixture of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, some squiggly characters, and a length of 12 plus characters is a good starting point. Again, if you use a password manager, then it can suggest very strong passwords for you to use. All right, here's the bottom line. Forgetting your computer password isn't the end of the world, as most accounts and Windows OS both give you safe ways to get back in. But the real pro move? Prevention. Set yourself up with a password manager, a backup admin account, and maybe a PIN or biometric login. That way, you'll never be that person frantically calling tech support 3 minutes before a big meeting. And hey, if you want to see some of these recovery methods in action, check out our YouTube channel, Computer Repair Academy. We've got step-by-step tutorials there that make it easy to follow along. That's it for today's episode of the Computer Repair Academy podcast. Stay secure, stay smart, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks again for tuning in to the Computer Repair Academy podcast. Until next time, keep those PCs running smoothly.
We all know that owning a small business means you wear many hats, but sometimes you really need an extra pair of hands. Upwork is how good companies find great and trusted freelance talent. With more than 2 decades of experience, with the simple and ambitious goal of pioneering a better way of working, companies at every stage turn to Upwork to get things done and find more flexibility in staffing key projects and initiatives. They access a global marketplace filled with top talent in IT, web dev, marketing, and more. Posting a job on Upwork is easy. With no cost to join, you can register, browse freelancer profiles, and get help drafting a job post or even book a consultation. From there, you connect with freelancers that get you and can easily hire them and take your business to the next level. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's Upwork.com to post your job for free and connect with top talent ready to help your business grow. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com.